What is going on there, everyone, and welcome back to the video from Dracon. Now, today we're going to be going over a very unique little one, and something I really wasn't expecting to get from this kind of series of miniatures. But this is made by Steamforged Games, and as we've seen before, I do like their Dark Souls minis. So, they did recently come out with these, animal adventures, so if your group people want to play as animals. Honestly, I could see these also as great animal companions. The dogs, the cats. I think they're doing another. Then they did a second wave of cats, and I think a second wave of dogs. But this one I had to buy because it's not dogs, or at least, wait, yeah, there's no dogs in it. I don't think there's any cats. Yeah, we have a fox as the craziest dog, and for cat wise, I guess you could say a red panda, but you know. Anyway, let's bring them out. So this is the Animal Adventurers. The Faraway era, set Animals of the Faraway Sea. There we are. I'm doing the backside just because, that shows all the creatures. We have Paprika, Bucky, Tamble, Joker, Osric, Pan, Arvil, Bruma, Whiskers, Tusk, and Kenai? Not really sure, but you know what? They look pretty cool. Now we're going to show you the front side of the minis. There we are. That's what they actually look like, and they're pretty cool. But let's open these bad boys up and take a look inside. Okay, so first up we have Tamble, the Goat Paladin. Very unique. He is a full armored goat with some wrappings on the antlers, his horns. And I would say this is probably based on maybe an ibis, but maybe they actually mean like a pet goat. But I've never seen a pet goat with horns that big. It's very impressive too. And now these are supposed to be awakened animals. Because, it tells you to set sail in the next role-playing adventure as an awakened animal bursting with character. Now, I would say you could be an awakened animal, and that's the right term for actually creatures that do this. Or, if you really wanted, you could have these be like companion creatures, which would be a lot easier. They could be your familiars, or they just happen to have a unique thing because maybe you've been with them for years and they figured out what they like to do in the spare time when they're not helping you out. And, Tamble here is a pretty unique little goat. He's pretty cool looking. Looking at his backside and all that, he's got some cool little, accents. Steamforged really does a good job at actually, getting their miniatures to look nice. And I do like how they come pre-done with these nice little black bases. I don't have to do anything. He's ready to go. He's got, the little Steamforged logo. That's I believe that's something like that. But, he's pretty cool. And luckily, this is a no-glue acquired, so if you're maybe not really a good fan of super glue or something, you don't got to worry about it. Let's move on to the next creature. Next up, we have a little small critter, Paprika, the Red Panda Fighter. I don't know why it has a bow, but, fighters should have more a weapon of some sort, more like a sword or something. It does have a sword on its one side if we turn it. Yeah, it does have a sword on the back. That's pretty cool. It's got a little bow, too, I guess, if you're going to want to be an archer-type fighter. It's not bad. I can't tell if that's a leg or if that's it must be part of his base too. Must be shorter than I think. He's got little bits of armor on him, little bits of some cloth. So yeah, he looks like a good fighter. And let's get a good back. Let's get a shot of his backside there. Yeah, pretty cool. Oh, he's okay. So he's sitting on a log or a piece of wood. That actually makes more sense. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Honestly, I guess if someone in the game wanted to be a red panda folk, I could easily see that going. It's not a tanuki, but pretty cool. I gotta say, that's a pretty nice idea. These ones work better, I think, with dogs and cats, because the dogs and cats ones, I think they should have been the companions, not awakened players, but yeah, these work good as, some of these do work like they could be a good actual race, like Osric, Broom, I guess Whiskers, Joker, Bucky, and Paprika here. They're the ones that literally to me could scream a actual player race because they're humanoidish, anthropomorphic in their ways. Osric stands up and all that, so he could work for an otter folk. And, Joker could be, simply an orangutan. They're already intelligent enough. We could just say you're just one that's smart enough to know how to tinker. But let's move on from little Paprika here to the next creature of the set. So next up we have Arvil the Albatross Wizard. Now that's pretty cool. An albatross wizard sounds pretty fun. Albatrosses are known for their long flying and big gliding efforts they do and all that. And they're a pretty big bird when it comes down to it. So they could be it could be a really cool companion creature if your player's like, I don't really want to be the albatross, but I'd love to have him as a companion. I mean, I'd see no problem. He's got cool little goggles on. He's got a nice little hat, a little bit of some clothing on, make him look unique. And he'd be a cool little familiar if not wanting to actually use him for what he's supposed to be. So yeah, he works really good. So far, Paprika, Tamble, and Arvel. Now, Tamble to me actually doesn't scream so much player. He literally screams like assistant to a player. Like he screams like an ally or like a pet. He screamed that. But Paprika and Arvel here, Paprika being the only one so far. The Red Panda so far is the only one of the three that I've gone through that actually screams a player race. Because he could just be Red Panda folks since they can be tiny. Because they're red pandas. Let's move on to another one. Not focus too much on the albatross. Let's get another shot of him here from the front. There we are, just to get the other side of him. I always got the kind of like trying to air brake stop as he's landing thing. That's pretty sweet. Nice pose. Kind of reminds me of like the Rescuers Down Under, like dude. I know that's not. Was he an albatross? I can't remember off the top of my head. It's been a while since I watched those movies. Actually, many years. But yeah, you know, he looks pretty cool. I like his design. Really nice. Really nice. And next up we have little Kenya, the baby goat druid. Okay. I guess if you really wanted to be the mind screw for your enemies in the game where like they run up on this little baby goat and they're like, let's kill it, and you're just like, oh, and you do the cute face like, oh, it's so adorable. And then you cast spells like, you know, oh, grasping vines, oh, it's got us. And then, you know, the Kenya having wild shape transforms into a giant crocodile or a giant bear. You know, convenient I chose a bear, everyone does. And he starts thrashing everyone. I mean, that'd be kind of cool. Now, Kenya here, I don't know what the story is in these guys, but I feel like Tamble here is like Kenya's a like parent or older sibling. Because, like, you know, they're both goats. And Kenya's a baby. It sounds like a female name, Kenya. While Tamble here sounds like either a dad goat, brother goat, or something like that, who became a paladin, while his baby there was like, I'm going to learn more of the Judaic ways. And I'm like, okay. I mean, it works. It's definitely unique. I would definitely say this classifies more as a companion creature, familiar. Doesn't have to be a druid once it's a familiar. Maybe it acts like, you know, just a cute little goat. Maybe it has a unique ability, like if it's able to sniff out very unique plants. Or a druid would be cool. Like maybe if it's a druid goat, and it helps druids by sniffing out specific herbs and all that stuff. So, yeah, it'd be really cool. I think that'd be really cool. Doesn't scream me as a player, but, you know, if you want to be a tiny baby goat, maybe try the cute effort. But let's move on. Oh boy, Bucky the Rabbit Monk. Why am I unsurprised? The rabbit was like the kung fu guy. You know what's funny also? If someone might not know this because they might not be old enough, but he reminds me of Bucky O'Hare. Now, I didn't really exactly grow up watching those cartoons. They were way too old for me at the time, and on top of that, they were very obscure to see. Like, they weren't as, like, normally on TV, at least as far as I knew of. But, you know, Bucky O'Hare, I don't know why I keep calling that because it's not his last name, but, you know, Bucky here reminds me of him because they're both these little rabbits that do martial arts and crap and fight. Granted, they give this guy a laser gun and a jumpsuit, then I'd be like, okay, that's it. I'm calling him Bucky O'Hare forever. But, you know, Bucky's a pretty unique little rabbit monk here, and I think it's a little bit sad they made the rabbit the monk. I think they could have made it more unique by making someone else a monk. Because, like, everyone goes, oh, of course, rabbits are monks, because they jump around, and hop around, and, you know, they spring into kicks and stuff, and they do kicks. And I'm like, okay, that's fair, but it's like, they do more than just that. I don't know. Maybe they could have made it a rogue with speed, because rabbits are really fast. So, I mean, like, he could be running in, stealing stuff, running out. You know, and that'd be kind of cool for Bucky. But, you know, hey, they're going to make him what they're going to make him. I don't know if anyone else here actually even is a... I don't think anyone here even is a... Like, yeah, no one here actually looks to be a thief. Like, no one here is the rogue class. They're all, like, pretty straightforward. Interesting. But let's move on to the next creature, though. Bucky's pretty simple. He's a rabbit. But he looks good, though. So, really nice. Oh, boy. Ozaric, the Sea Otter Cleric. Now, I don't know about him being a cleric. He looks more like a knight. Honestly, they should have probably made him a fighter or him as a paladin. Because he's not screaming cleric. Like, he looks like he's a sword-wielding sea otter. He kind of reminds me of Thimbletack from Narnia, if anyone remembers that. Like, a night mouse. In this case, a night otter. He kind of looks like that, and, he's very unique. I mean, I like him. He looks cool, and I like his sort of he has that kind of more like, I'm a little more fancier than you think type thing going. This is pretty cool. I gotta give Osric some credit here. Osric is a really good one. I like this one. Osric and Paprika so far are near the tops of my favorites. Like, they got this more cooler look to them. Like, Paprika had more of that kind of, I'm that cool aloof type thing. Osric here is more of the proud standing, like, I'm an otter. Fight me if you dare. Oh. And let me heal you, my friend. Type thing. A little more style, but really nice. I like his armor details. Got some lovely details in the rock. His tail, like, it's simple, but man, it works for him. It just works really well. Next creature, though, shall we? Okay, I give a nod to one of my bros because he loves alpacas, and this one is the Pan, the alpaca bard. And if you didn't tell me this was an alpaca bard, I would look at you and say, oh, cool, you got a pack alpaca. Like a pack mule. That's cool. And then they'd be like, no, you're actually wrong. It's actually a bard. And I'd go, wait, what? Like, alpacas can be bards? Don't they spit on people? And can't they be kind of mean? Like, I wouldn't really expect a bard. I mean, they got the attitude, I guess, of the bard when they want to get their way. And they're going to force their way through or whatever. But, honestly, I gotta say, little Pan here is unique. I don't know why they called it Pan. Pan feels more like a goat name. Or a satyr name. But I guess, what? Alpaca, it's just cool. It's a very well sculpted alpaca. It's got some nice detail going. Like I said, though, this thing wouldn't have to be. This could easily be another companion creature the group either purchases, or it's a familiar where it's used as a packing alpaca, where it carries stuff. Maybe it can fight as well to help its master out, or something. But it's pretty cool. And I gotta say, I like the alpaca. It's pretty nice. Now, a nod to my one bro, he knows who he is, that he loves alpacas. God, I could see him wanting this in the next campaign, where he's like, I want an alpaca. And I'll be like, dude, really? He's like, I want an alpaca. And I'll be like, crap, I have the mini for it. Well, now I got an alpaca mini. But, there's nothing wrong getting some more beasties. Okay, let's get to the next one here before I get too stuck on this fluffy friend. And, well, we went from fluffy to the more matted fur of Joker, the orangutan tinker mage. Now, I gotta say, for an orangutan, the sculpting is good. They didn't try to make him fluffy. They didn't try to make his hair perfect. It's all just this big matted mess coming down. Kind of like almost a dreadlocky hair look to it, but it looks good. It works. I love his, little eye piece on him. Like, he's got the little magnifier eye. I love his mecha toucan there on the stick that's on his backpack, or his shoulder pack. Yeah, it's actually more of a shoulder pack than a backpack look. And I like the little robot head sticking out, like in the parts that are there, like he's working on the way. Like, I love that kind of stuff. That's the stuff that makes these characters have character. And yes, honestly, I could easily have a player be the Tinker Mage. There's nothing stopping me from letting one of my players be Joker, the Tinker Mage orangutan. Because orangutans, they're a primate, like humans. They're intelligent, like humans. There's nothing saying it couldn't figure it out. Because, plus, there is, the orangutan aliens in Warhammer. And actually, as a matter of fact, you could use this for Warhammer. I know someone's going to be like, whoa. Like, someone's like, whoa, don't try to muddy the waters. Let me explain. Those guys are seen by the humans and Terrans and all races as a very valuable species. These orangutan guys, when you can get them to do something for you, they do really well. Like, they aim for high levels of tech skill, and these guys are good. So honestly, if your group came across them and they were like, oh man, I really want this guy to make me a ship, or make me a weapon, he's going to do a good job. And I can easily see orcs and them fighting for it. But let's move on here, get to the next guy. Very nice orangutan. And now we're coming down to the third of the last, which is the Koala Druid. Is it Druid or... Hold on. Sorry, I gotta read them. Broom the Koala Druid. So we're going to get very simple here just because I don't want to take all day on these guys. He's hard to get in the camera angle. I don't know why, but you can see he's like little koala sitting on a tree. Very simple. A nice creature. I don't mind it. It works. I would definitely see him as like a companion creature. Like maybe he's a little pack koala. He just holds onto your back and sleeps. I mean, obviously, since they all carry the chlamydia, kind of concerning there. But, you know, they also do eat their own poop. So, you know, little features that make koalas, like, look cute, but in reality, it's like, oh, now I'm concerned. But let's get to the next of the last to the end. Oh, also going on about, like, Joker, I feel one of my other bros who also likes the alpaca is going to like the monkey. But here we got one that's actually more on the battle side. Tusk, the pig barbarian. Like, I love how he has tusks that aren't his tusks coming out around his armor. That's pretty sweet. I like his, like, kind of steampunky, almost sort of like Chinese-inspired armor. That looks pretty sweet. I like the eye patch on him. I love how he carries an axe, and there's no point with all these tusks. He can just ram into you and stab the crap out of you. Very nice design. Like, he looks really good. And I mean, there's not much more to say. He's just simple, but man, with him, the simplicity makes this pig look like he's actually really going to do some damage. And now we're going to get to probably one of my favorites of this, for sure. There we are, the last one of the group. We have Whiskers, the Fox Sorcerer. Now, Whiskers is definitely unique. It's a cool little fox Kyuubi looking critter. Now, someone in your group wanted to play a fox folk. You could use as a stand-in for that. I mean, yeah, she's on all fours, but she does have the ability to stand up and use fire and shoot spells, so it's pretty cool. Pretty nice. I mean, there's not much to say. She's got a nice little robe. I love the tail flow. I love the fur design, and it looks really nice. And then here's the overall shot of everyone together. Sorry, Osric. Let me get you a little closer there so you're in the shot. Oh, no. He might be harder for me to get in there. Come on, camera focus on him. Oh, well, I forgot. It's a pretty big swarm, but, you know, close enough. But here's the whole group total. We have the lovely animals. Now, what would I say? These things were pretty nice. These guys cost me around $25. Not a bad set. We got a lovely set of critters here. I mean, what? We get, like 10 monsters or 10 animals slash companions slash possible player races. I mean, that's pretty sweet. A great deal. I definitely recommend, guys. This is why Steamforge is another company I really do enjoy. Their miniatures are really on par, and they look really well sculpted. Well, I thank you all for being in the video this long. If you are, thank you very much. And if you wouldn't mind, make sure, if you haven't done so already, in this case, scurry and scamper, fly, stomp, all that stuff across that like button, as well as hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, help the channel grow. If you have any comments, concerns, ideas, or maybe you have a creature in here you really liked, let me know. Say like, hey man, I really loved the orangutan. It was just so cool. You know, go for it. Let me know. Anyway, guys, that's all I've got for you today. Have a great one, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.